Hey there, before getting started, I just want to say thank you so much for buying my course. At the moment of you watching this, at this very minute, I'm all the way back to France and I just got a notification on my phone. It's telling me that you bought my course. So I can guarantee you that at this very moment, I am very happy. You just made my day. So thank you for that. And now it's my turn to make your day. Let's dive into the course. If you bought this course, I know exactly how you feel. I know what it's like to spend hours a day on Twitter, crafting quality content. Then you post it and get zero likes and zero engagement. Then you check the feed and you see someone with the stupidest tweet you've ever seen get thousands of likes. And that's the pain of Twitter. It seems completely random. And for that reason, most people give up. After a few weeks of trying to grow on Twitter, they stop because it's just too painful and too frustrating to spend all that time and be at the mercy of a completely random algorithm. But I didn't have that choice. I couldn't give up on Twitter. My entire livelihood depended on it, so my only choice was to finally understand this algorithm. 4 years ago, my wife and I decided to build a startup. It's an online tool called Logology that allows a startup founder to generate a logo for their startup in only a couple minutes. We had this crazy dream that we could get rich and famous with that startup. I know it sounds silly, but I'm just being honest here. That was the dream that we had when we started. But after a couple years, it didn't work out. We assumed that just releasing the product would be enough, but it wasn't. Nobody cared. Nobody was waiting for us. So that's when we discovered we needed to do marketing. We needed to be way more active and proactive at promoting our company. So I started trying things. I invested $600 on Google Ads to promote our startup in Google search results. It got us zero sales. Then I tried sponsoring newsletters read by startup founders, thinking, they already trust the newsletters and they all need a logo. So if they see an ad for us, it's going to be successful. Zero sales again. Then one day, I went to Twitter. I started just spamming links to my website every chance I could. I wasn't trying to bring value, not trying to be positive, let's be honest. I was just trying to get sales for my startup. So every time there was an opportunity, I would just plug my link in a reply to a tweet. I did that for about 3 weeks and it wasn't going anywhere. Until one day, one of my replies got viral. I got 1,000 visits to my website and 2 sales in 24 hours. For us, everything changed. We went from struggling and not making barely any money to, wow, we can get sales like this. We can get sales with Twitter. So I just started experimenting. I just started trying everything I could think of. I was tweeting, different kinds of tweets. I was doing long tweets, short tweets, memes, threads. I was tweeting at night, in the evening, in the morning. I was engaging with people, replying to people. Sometimes I was even waking up in the middle of the night to engage with a few people because I had thought that maybe by doing so, the algorithm will give me priority the next day. I was like a mad scientist trying all the craziest experiments to figure out the algorithm. I was exhausted, but I was making progress. And then, about the time when I had about 1,000 followers, I got it. I understood the formula. And then everything changed. I started getting more impressions than accounts that had 100,000 followers. My tweets were trending every day. I was being visible by everybody in my niche. In a matter of weeks, everybody on Twitter who was in the startup niche had heard about me. And then it means they had heard about my startup. So we started getting way more sales, way more traffic, and finally a path to being profitable and making a living with this. And then even more crazy things happened. Opportunities that I didn't even know were possible. People started sending me DMs to interview me about my startup. So for a while, I was responding to one interview request per week, which created a ton of awareness to my startup, even though it took no effort on my part, except replying to the interview. Then I got invited to podcasts to talk about my startup. Got invited to at least 10 of them in the next 6 months. Then I got other startup founders who noticed me and offered me a partnership. They wanted to sell my product, and now they do, and it's a big part of our sales. And the best part of all this is because I was getting so much visibility, I started getting more fans and I started connecting with people. And now, whenever somebody requests help with how can I do my logo on Twitter, everybody says Logology. People just jump in and say, you should use Logology because they know me and they feel connected to me, so they want to help me. And all these things happened just because I figured out the algorithm, I started connecting with people at a way bigger scale, and now all these opportunities happened. But what can you expect from this course? Because sure, these are the results I got, but what are the results that you can get? Well, I'm not going to tell you that if you do this course, you're going to get viral every day, or that you're going to get 1,000 more followers overnight, because it depends on too many factors, namely the size of your niche and the quality of your content. And I don't control that. But you will be able to predict your growth, and it will become only a factor of how much effort you put in and the quality of your content. Instead of being ruled by the randomness of the algorithm, you will know how things worked and be able to just put in effort, and depending on that, you will get results. And I'm not talking about shallow results. I'm not talking about stupid follower numbers that don't care about you. I'm talking about real connections, real fans, and real growth for everything else that you do besides Twitter.